this episode, you can see how toxic relationships can be when people are more dedicated to manipulate other people to get what they want instead of having a conversation and use your words against you, trying to manipulate you and making you look crazy and do whatever it takes so that they wouldn't have to take responsibility for anything and that they would get what they want, making things up that is not real. And when you confront them about this, they avoid to answer and try to change the subject, saying that you are the crazy one. And sometimes you even want to believe their lies, because you're having a relationship with each other, which means that you are exchanging your energy. So you take their delusional nature, which makes you a little bit delusional. So although no matter how ridiculous these lies sound, you still keep questioning yourself, thinking that you are the crazy one. And the whole reason why she came into his life is because he manifested. In his mind, he thought to himself that he is crazy because he can see the jinn and outside world has to reflect it. So he manifested this woman who are trying to make him crazy, the same way as Jin trying to do. And when he talks with his sister about this Jin, it shows how left-brained he is and how he is not using his right brain at all, not believing in the existence of this Jin and trying to rationalize it, and are more willing to believe that he is crazy than existence of this Jin, which he can actually see. It shows how negative his thinking patterns are and how stubborn he is to not willing to see the truth when even it is represented in front of him. And when he's talking about the migrants, when he sees this Jin, he's trying to figure out where they come from. It's not because of the Jin, it's because this memory is burned into his mind and his future self is remembering this situation and keeps coming back to it by thinking about it. And it's because of the gap of the consciousness. His future self vibrates at higher consciousness than his lower self. So when his future self are thinking about this moment, he is actually teleporting his own consciousness in the past. And when it interacts with your past self, your head hurts because of the gap of the consciousness. And this migraine is not like a usual headache that you get if you are sick. It's more like a pressure in your head and you feel a little bit sick, like you are going to throw up. And personally, I have experienced this type of migraine many times and have learned to deal with it. And as uncomfortable it may seem, I'm always happy when I get it, when I experienced it, because it means I just had a major breakthrough which will affect my future, and in future I will be remembering this moment. So it's significant in some way, so it confirms that I'm on the right path and everything is gonna be okay. He asked about his father, remembering that he used to have his migraines, and his sister said that their father was cheating onto her mother, and these migraines could be some kind of excuse to get outside of the house, and this was another excuse he was hoping for, which suits his theory of being crazy. And it maybe look like their father used this migraine as an excuse, but it's not. It's actually the cause of it. And every time he went out, he is remembering how he went to cheat on their mother. That's why he has this migraine. And when he goes out in nature to clear his head, he's actually feeling better, because going out in nature helps this migraine, because then you're raising your vibration and the gap is not so high and you are having to breathe a fresh air, which helps as well. And it's interesting how the demon led to the Kristen's house, because previously they were asking Kristen why does she feel okay, and they were curious what is bothering her. Why is she feeling this way? So by focusing on this thought, they were unconsciously led by it, and although they weren't fully aware of the thing that they are seeking for, in back of their minds they were curious why she feeling bad. So that's why they found the reason why. And this cave that they found in her basement is actually representation that the protection of her house is breached, and that there is a hole where this demon came from. And when the sister Andrea went into this hole, she felt the heat going deeper, like she is going, while she came up to this devil looking demon with horns, which makes us believe that she just passed into hell, and when she's tried to use the holy water, it don't work, and demon says that this don't work in here, that she has no power in this world, and he has all the power over her. So he grabbed her hand and his touch burned her arm, and this is nothing to do with actual physical thing that happened. This is another metaphor, because our hands are represented by our actions, shows that her actions are because she were burned by a demon, so that's why she is hunting them. When demon said that she has no power when she stepped into his world, so-called hell, that is another lie, because this hell that they mentioning of doesn't exist in physical plane. This concept exists in spirit world. And this is another lie that they are trying to convince us that these demons are stronger than us, because in spirit world we actually are most powerful than in the physical world. So destroying this demon actually would be much easier, and they are doing it so that we wouldn't realize that only way how we can defeat our demons is when we go in spirit world, which is represented by unseen world, our thoughts and emotions, so we would go inside to ourselves to discover why we're feeling this way. And this whole situation when Sister Andrea walked into this cave, which was so-called path to the hell, wasn't actually physical, that she actually stepped into so deep that she went to the hell, because this cave that was in this house wasn't so deep enough. And what they meant by it is that she went into the darkness, to the unseen world they can see, to find this demon. And when she stayed by this hole to protect the house, it doesn't mean that she has to protect this hole so that demons wouldn't get into the house. It's actually more like that she needs to be in the house while the protection of the house is restored, so that no demon could get in. And this whole situation is actually a good example how the demons are trying to get to you, and how the media are trying to twist the truth, and how they actually know the truth about it. Like the fact that this cave was in the basement, which is talking about the stability of the house, which talks about the fact that demons are trying to attack your stability of your state of mind. But most importantly, I attack your physical wealth by trying to get you ungrounded and associated the ground with something evil, and making up the story about the devil, because everything about this story is a lie. Like for example, have you ever wondered why he is red and why he has horns? He is red because color red is represented by our root chakra, and he has horns because that is represented zodiac sign, where the Taurus represent the physical world, the value of your physical assets and money in general. That's why usually on devil's head we can see the horns that look like bull horns, or sometimes devil looks more like goat, which is represent the Capricorn energy, and our earth sign, which is all about finances as well, taking risks to achieve the things that they want, like goats are risking with their lives, climbing on mountains, being fearless and stubborn to achieve the things that they want. And even the heat in the hell is a lie, because there is no way that the hell could be hot, because the heat is represented by comfort, and light is another lie that they are trying to tell us to make us scared from the element of fire, by talking about the negative aspect of fire when you could get burned. But that is only the negative aspect of it, which everything else has, and the fire element is represented by our passion, and it's good with starting new things. An earth element is more about planning things ahead and creating a stable ground to stand on, so these both energies go good together, where one, the fire element, gives you the passion, the movement, the drive that sometimes earth element lacks, and helps you with starting things and not being too much in planning stage, while the earth element helps you to build your foundation on the stable ground. This whole story about the devil who lives in the hell is actually telling us the opposite of the truth, because the whole reason why the demons even exist is because we need a diversity, and there needs to be somewhere where this negative energy goes, so there has to be someone that feeds on it, and fire needs fuel, something to burn, and these negative emotions are the best fuel to ignite our passion and force us to move, to strive and do better, so we can use this negative energy to transform it, like the fire does when it burns, to help us to start new things. So this story are not talking about the place the demon lives. It's actually talking about the fact how you can defeat them. You need to burn them and bury them underground, where fire talks about the transformation, transforming bad things into good, and when we bury it, means that we forget about it, forget about the pain that they have caused us, so that it becomes a proof to remind us how strong we actually are, and good foundation of our stability, reminding us that nothing can break us